Good morning. And before you take that first sip of water today, stop just for a moment, because what I am about to share with you in the next few minutes could genuinely change the way your body ages, the way your kidneys function, and according to some of the most exciting research coming out of leading universities right now, it may even affect how cancer cells behave inside your body. And I want you to stay with me all the way through this video, because the information I am going to share builds on itself, and the most important part, the part about stem cell activation, comes toward the end. And trust me, you do not want to miss it. Now, I have been practicing medicine for over 2 decades, and I have seen thousands of patients walk through my door complaining about fatigue, brain fog, joint pain, poor digestion, poor and elevated inflammation markers on their blood work. And when I ask them one simple question, what is the first thing you do every morning? Almost all of them give me the same answer. They reach for coffee, or they eat breakfast, or they scroll through their phone. Almost none of them are doing what I am about to describe. And that, my friends, is a missed opportunity. A missed opportunity that costs your body dearly, especially after the age of 60. Here is something most people do not realize. By the time you wake up in the morning, your body has already been working for 6 to 8 hours without a single drop of water. Your kidneys have been filtering your blood. Your liver has been running its detox cycle. Your lymphatic system has been moving cellular waste. And all of that work has happened in a state of mild dehydration. So the very first thing you put into your body in the morning, that very first glass of water, is the most powerful biological reset button you have access to every single day. And most people are wasting it. But here is where it gets really interesting. Because it is not just about the water. It is about what you add to that water. One specific ingredient. Something you probably already have in your kitchen right now. And when you add this to your morning water, something remarkable begins to happen at the cellular level. Your kidneys begin to flush accumulated crystalline waste. Your inflammatory pathways start to quiet down. And in research studies, real peer-reviewed studies published in journals like the Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Nutrition Research, this ingredient has been shown to suppress certain proteins that cancer cells depend on to grow and replicate. I will tell you exactly what it is in just a moment. But first I need to explain why mornings matter so much, because the science behind this is genuinely fascinating. Here is what happens inside your body. Between roughly 2 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the morning, your cortisol levels begin to rise. That is your body's natural wake-up hormone. At the same time, your kidneys shift into what scientists call the early morning filtration surge. This is the window where your body is most aggressively trying to eliminate waste products, excess uric acid, metabolic byproducts, and cellular debris that accumulated the day before. Think of it like a city's sanitation system running its overnight route. By the time you wake up, the trucks are full and they need to unload. And the only way they can unload efficiently is if you give them the right conditions. Now, dehydration at this stage is the first problem. But the second problem, and this one surprises most of my patients, is acidity. During sleep, your body's pH naturally dips slightly toward the acidic end of the spectrum. This is normal, but it creates an environment where certain harmful processes accelerate. Specifically, free radical activity increases. Inflammatory cytokines, those are the chemical messengers that drive inflammation, become more active. And here is the part that connects directly to cancer. Researchers at the University of California have studied extensively how acidic cellular environments create more hospitable conditions for abnormal cell behavior. Cancer cells, unlike healthy cells, actually thrive in low oxygen, high acid environments. This is not fringe science. This is well-established oncological research, going back to the work of Otto Warburg, who won the Nobel Prize nearly a century ago for discovering that cancer cells metabolize glucose differently in acidic environments. When you understand this, the importance of your morning routine takes on an entirely different weight. So what is this ingredient? It is lemon, fresh lemon juice. Specifically, the juice of half an organic lemon added to 8 to 12 ounces of warm, not hot, not cold, but warm, filtered water consumed within 15 minutes of waking, before any food, before coffee, before anything else. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Lemon is acidic. You just told me we need to reduce acidity. How does adding something acidic help? And this is where the biology becomes genuinely surprising. Lemon juice, despite its acidic pH outside the body, around 2 to 3 on the pH scale, undergoes a process called alkaline ash metabolism. Once it is processed by your digestive system, the citric acid in lemon is metabolized, and what remains actually has a mild alkalizing effect on your blood and urine. This has been measured in controlled studies. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin published findings showing that regular consumption of lemon juice meaningfully increased urinary pH in patients, which directly correlates with reduced kidney stone formation and improved kidney filtration efficiency. But the kidney benefits alone are extraordinary enough to justify this habit. Your kidneys filter approximately 200 liters of blood every single day. Every single day. They are among the hardest working organs in your body, and they are profoundly sensitive to hydration status, oxidative stress, and uric acid levels. In adults over 60, kidney function naturally declines at a rate of roughly 1% per year after the age of 40. That means by the time someone is 70, they may be operating with 30% less kidney function than they had at 40. And most of them have no idea, because early kidney decline produces almost no symptoms. What it does produce is fatigue, elevated blood pressure, poor sleep, and cognitive sluggishness. Sound familiar? Those are complaints I hear every single day in my practice. Lemon water directly addresses several of the key mechanisms driving this decline. The citrate in lemon juice, that is the salt form of citric acid, binds to calcium oxalate in the urine and prevents it from crystallizing into kidney stones. But beyond that, the potassium citrate in lemon helps maintain the delicate electrolyte balance that your kidneys depend on for their filtering function. A 2014 study published in the Journal of Urology found that patients who consumed lemon juice regularly had significantly reduced kidney stone recurrence compared to control groups. And this is not a trivial quality of life issue. Kidney stones are associated with broader renal inflammation, and chronic renal inflammation is one of the leading drivers of progressive kidney disease. Now let us talk about inflammation more broadly, because this is where the connection to cancer, to joint disease, to heart disease, and to accelerated aging all converges. Chronic low-grade inflammation, what researchers now call inflammaging, is arguably the central mechanism of nearly every degenerative disease we face as we get older. And the morning window is critical for either amplifying or suppressing this inflammatory state. Lemon juice contains a remarkable array of bioactive compounds that directly modulate your inflammatory pathways. The most important of these is a flavonoid called hesperidin. Hesperidin is a potent anti-inflammatory compound that has been studied extensively for its effect on NF-κB. That is nuclear factor kappa B, which is essentially the master switch of your body's inflammatory response. When NF-κB is overactivated, your body produces a cascade of pro-inflammatory cytokines, including TNF-alpha, interleukin-6, and interleukin-1 beta. These are the same inflammatory markers that are elevated in arthritis, cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative conditions, and, critically, in the tumor microenvironment that allows cancer cells to survive and proliferate. A 2016 study published in the Nutrients Journal found that hesperidin supplementation significantly reduced circulating levels of these inflammatory markers in elderly subjects. And here is what makes the morning timing particularly important. NF-κB activity follows a circadian rhythm with peak activity occurring in the early morning hours. Consuming hesperidin at exactly this window, when the inflammatory pathway is at its most active, provides maximum suppressive effect. This is precision nutrition. This is biology-aligned eating, and it costs you nothing more than a lemon and a glass of water. Now for the cancer connection. I want to be very precise here, because I am not telling you that lemon water cures cancer. I am not saying that, and no responsible physician would. What I am telling you is that the research around the compounds in lemon and their interaction with cancer cell biology is genuinely compelling and deserves your attention. There are 3 specific mechanisms worth discussing. First, D-limonene. This is a compound found primarily in the lemon peel, but it leaches into the juice as well. D-limonene has been studied in several clinical trials for its ability to induce apoptosis, that is programmed cell death in certain cancer cell lines, particularly breast and colon cancer cells. A phase 1 clinical trial at the University of Arizona found that patients with breast cancer who consumed D-limonene showed a 22% reduction in tumor expression of a protein called cyclin D1, which is directly involved in cancer cell proliferation. This is not a small finding. Cyclin D1 overexpression is found in a significant percentage of human cancers. Second, vitamin C and its relationship to cancer metabolism. Lemon juice is a meaningful source of vitamin C, and high-dose vitamin C has been studied for decades in oncological research. What is particularly relevant here is that cancer cells have a high metabolic demand for glucose. This is the Warburg effect I mentioned earlier. Vitamin C at the cellular level competes with glucose for uptake through certain transporter proteins. In doing so, it can selectively create oxidative stress inside cancer cells while leaving healthy cells unaffected. Research from the National Cancer Institute has continued to explore this mechanism, particularly in the context of intravenous vitamin C therapy, but even dietary vitamin C contributes to this biochemical environment. Third, and perhaps most surprising, is the role of lemon's alkalizing metabolic effect on the tumor microenvironment. Solid tumors create a local acidic environment around themselves as a survival and invasion strategy. They use this acidity to break down surrounding tissue and evade immune detection. Compounds that gently shift systemic pH, even modestly, can disturb this local tumor microenvironment and make it harder for cancer cells to maintain their preferred conditions. This is still an active area of research, but the mechanistic logic is well established. Now let us talk about what may be the most exciting part of this entire discussion: stem cell activation. Your body produces stem cells throughout your entire life. These are your cellular repair crews, undifferentiated cells that can transform into whatever type of cell your body needs to replace damaged tissue. The problem is that as we age, stem cell activity declines dramatically. By the time you reach 70, your stem cell production may be a fraction of what it was at 30. This is one of the core biological reasons aging produces so much systemic deterioration. But here is what researchers are discovering. Stem cell activity is profoundly sensitive to the internal cellular environment, particularly to levels of oxidative stress, and the availability of certain signaling molecules. When oxidative stress is high, stem cells essentially go dormant. They divert resources away from repair and toward basic survival. When oxidative stress is reduced, and when the cellular environment is properly hydrated and mineralized, stem cell activity rebounds. A 2019 study published in Cell Stem Cell found that fasting mimicking conditions, which morning lemon water closely approximates because you are in a fasted state, and the lemon provides minimal calories, actually stimulate the release of growth factors associated with stem cell activation. The citrate in lemon juice also plays a role here through its interaction with the mitochondria. Citrate is a key molecule in the Krebs cycle, your cell's primary energy production pathway, and providing exogenous citrate first thing in the morning, before any large glucose load from food, primes the mitochondria for cleaner, more efficient energy production. Healthier mitochondria produce fewer free radicals. Fewer free radicals mean a more hospitable environment for stem cell activity. The chain of effects is elegant, interconnected, and supported by a growing body of research. So let me give you the exact protocol, because the details matter. Take 8 to 12 ounces of filtered water. Not tap water if you can avoid it, because chlorine and fluoride can interfere with some of the enzymatic processes we have discussed. Warm it slightly to about body temperature, or just above. Squeeze in the juice of half a fresh lemon, preferably organic, because you want to avoid pesticide residue on the skin when you are squeezing. You can optionally add a small pinch, and I mean a very small pinch, about 1/16 of a teaspoon of high-quality sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. This provides trace minerals and helps with rapid cellular hydration. Drink it slowly over about 5 minutes. Do not brush your teeth immediately after. Wait at least 30 minutes, because the citric acid temporarily softens tooth enamel, and brushing at that moment can cause abrasion. Instead, brush before you drink it, or rinse your mouth with plain water afterward. Do this every single morning. Consistency is what separates people who see results from those who do not. The biological effects we have discussed: the reduction in inflammatory markers, the improvement in urinary pH, the modulation of NF-κB, the mitochondrial priming, these are cumulative effects. Studies looking at long-term lemon juice consumption measure these outcomes at 8, 12, and 16 weeks. You are building a biochemical environment over time. You are rewiring your body's morning baseline. And for seniors especially, this morning window, this narrow daily opportunity, may be one of the most powerful non-pharmaceutical interventions available to you. I want you to think about something as we close today. Every morning you wake up, your body gives you a choice. It presents you with this biological window, this period of post-sleep metabolic openness, where your cells are ready to receive input and recalibrate. You can fill that window with coffee on an empty stomach, which spikes cortisol further and drives your body deeper into an acidic, inflamed state. Or you can fill it with this simple, inexpensive, research-supported habit that signals to every cell in your body: the environment is safe, it is clean, it is alkaline, it is hydrated, go ahead and repair. Go ahead and activate. Go ahead and do what you were designed to do. This is not a supplement. This is not a prescription. This is a lemon and a glass of water. And the science behind what it does to your body every morning at the cellular level is nothing short of remarkable. If you found this information valuable, and I genuinely hope you did, please hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it tells the algorithm that this kind of real science-based health content deserves to reach more people. And if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I release new videos every week covering the kind of evidence-based health strategies that your doctor may not have time to explain in a 15-minute appointment. Next week, I am covering another morning habit, this one targeting the vagus nerve, that has been shown in clinical research to reduce heart rate variability, lower blood pressure, and dramatically improve sleep quality in adults over 60. You do not want to miss that one. I will see you then.